Welcome to PA Timber Goose. Today is November 22nd and archery is over. Yesterday was the last day for statewide archery till after Christmas. So next Saturday is the first day of rifle. And this year will be a first. You can hunt Saturday opener, Sunday, Monday, straight through the weekend, where the old season started on Monday. Now you can hunt straight through. Today's video is about a Marlin 30-30. This is the most popular firearm in the Pennsylvania woods. It's killed more deer than any other rifle out there today. And mine is from 1980. It was actually made by Marlin. Marlin was sold to Remington, and Remington got into some financial issues. So now Sturm Ruger owns Marlin Firearms. This is an older gun, so I have no checkering on anything here. I actually have tape on here because I have no checkering to hold on to. This makes it much easier when it's cold. Stock gets very slippery. And a little closer here. You can see my new scope on here. I had a Bushnell on there. It was starting to fog up. So now I have a loophole, 3 to 9, freedom. One good way to tell if it's time for a new optic on your rifle, when you put your target down there at 100 yards, if you can't read the writing on your target, it's time for a new optic. You should have a very, very clear sight window. There shouldn't be any haze or anything looking through the scope. If it is, you have a condensation inside of your optic, or maybe some of the gas inside of it's leaking out. So it will fail you in your moment of need. You could have a nice buck out there. You can't see it because you can't find it in the scope. You can't see through it, and it's foggy. So this optic, another Bass Pro scope here. Buy a lot of stuff from Bass Pro. It's very clear. I'm very happy with the reticle. And my 30-30, I actually shoot hand loads in it. Okay, there's my 170 grain soft point round nose for my 30-30. This is very effective on deer. It has a lot of knockdown power. Some people like the 150 grains because they're faster, but I prefer a large, slow bullet. It actually delivers more energy to the target, and it has a quicker takedown power. 30-30s are very effective as long as you're within the range. 30-30's maximum range, I would say, is about 150 yards. I wouldn't shoot past that. I have tried 160 grain. I have shot 160 grain Horner Day. I believe it's called an FTX 160 grain. They do add more velocity to the 30-30 round, and they are actually very accurate. I shot 2 deer with them. I shot a doe. The doe, I hit her, and it didn't stop her where she was at. She continued to run away, so I had to shoot her again. It did a lot of damage to the front end of that deer, but didn't take the doe down. And then I shot a buck with it, almost at point blank range, right through both lungs, and the buck ran for about 200 yards. Luckily there was snow on the ground, and I could track the buck very easily, and the buck kind of bled out and fell over. Here's the buck I shot with that 160 grain FTX. It's kind of an odd rack, and that's very, very common for the mountains. Got 3 on one side, 4 on one, so I got a 7-point. Sometimes the food in the mountains isn't always good for the deer. They can't find a lot to eat, or the deer's old, and then you end up with a tiny rack like this. But in the mountains, this is very common. So the Marlin 30-30 has probably taken more deer in the woods than any other rifle. There are a lot of Winchester Model 94s out there. The Winchester 94 has a top ejection port, so usually they just have open sights. It's hard to put an optic on that. The Marlin ejects from the side. They're very accurate, and they're built like a tank. I have a hammer spur on the side so I can get to the trigger sooner. These are very effective, and a lot of people don't like them. They do have a lot of stopping power. One nice thing is the short barrel I don't have my sling on it right now. Let me put my sling on here. What's nice about this is it's very compact. You don't have a 24-inch barrel or a 22-inch barrel to carry. So you can put this over your shoulder. You're walking through the woods, your barrel's not sticking up above your head, getting caught in the trees. And it's very easy to take off your shoulder. If you have it on your shoulder here, you want to take it off, just grab the bottom, swing it around, and you're right on target. It comes up very quickly. But if it's raining or snowing, I have a tendency to carry it upside down, and I have a hold of the end of the barrel so I know where it is. And there again, it's very short. Back you up here a little bit more. It's very short. You can see where the end of my barrel is. So when I'm walking in the snow and I'm crawling through bushes, I'm not getting stuck. And I can actually grab the end of my barrel like this, spin it around, it comes right up. 3 to 9 is really all you need. Your maximum range for this is probably about 150 yards. Okay, my loophole scope. It's very clear. Spin it down here. You can see the ring on here. It's nice. It's a matte black finish. The turrets are closed. I tend to stay away from turrets that are open because if you bang a bush or something, it may change your zero. So the only issues I have with this is you can see the engraving here. It's supposed to be a 3 to 9. It goes 3, 4, 6, 9. So an oddity, I don't know why. Maybe that saves them some money when they're manufacturing it. So I'm missing a 7 and a 5. I mean, not that it really makes any difference. I wish they would have put it on there. And the other issue is the back of this eyepiece is all metal. There's no rubber on there. If you get your eye too close, that scope is going to bite your forehead, and you're definitely going to need some stitches if that smashes you in the forehead. I'll probably put some tape on there. I wish they had a rubber cap that would go on the end of there. So the only 2 issues with the scope. Other than that, the gun shoots very well with my hand loads. And we'll have a video of doing some reloads here. I'll probably reload some 30-30s. I'll probably reload some 308s. In the middle here, I want to reload some 308s and some 44 Magnums. I actually haven't shot a deer with my rifle in quite a few years. Most of my deer have been coming with a crossbow, and I've been shooting them in October. If we ever get some snow in the ground, that's a perfect time to hunt deer. As far as reloads, just throw some numbers out there. This is my favorite powder. I can reload my 6.8 SPC with this. I can reload my 30-30 with this. I can reload a 308 with this and a 30-06. It's a very versatile powder. It's very stable. It's an extruded powder with a long grain. Some people like a shorter grain, but I've used this for years. I've never had any issues. When I started hunting with my 45-70, and that's when I started reloading. And I started with this for my 45-70, and I've never switched. I don't like different cans of powder all over my workbench to get confused in different loads. One powder can do them all. All you got to do is change the load and the dies, and you're good. Okay, so a 30-30, the 170 grain round nose flies at 2,000 feet per second. 308, 39 grains will fly at 2,300 feet per second, and a 30-06 with 44 grains of powder will fly at 2,600 feet per second. So as I'm a big fan of 30 caliber rifles because the bullet selection is unlimited, and you can make light loads, medium loads, or hot loads. My rifle loads, I never shoot hot loads. If you look at the reloading chart, it'll start with minimum and maximum. It'll give you the velocity. So usually what I do is I pick a load that's right in the middle, and the reason for that is number one, it reduces the muzzle blast, and which is much better for you, which means you have better gun control. It'll save your ears a little bit, and it's actually more accurate if you don't have that huge muzzle blast. 3 or 4 extra grains of powder. You can put a hot load in there. The chances of you rupturing a case or hurting yourself or blowing your gun apart is very high. So I don't shoot high pressure loads. Everything's in the middle. And 200 feet per second, the deer can't tell the difference whether you shot it going. The deer can't tell if you shot it going at 2,000 feet per second or 2,500 feet per second. They can't tell the difference. Your goal is to put that bullet where it's supposed to hit. Sometimes you have to shoot through little keyholes, and if you have a hot load, you have a lot of recoil, which means the end of the barrel is going to jump up real high, and you lose a lot of your accuracy. I try to keep my loads in the middle of the road. That way the accuracy is better, and it'll actually help you connect with more deer. If you shoot and there's snow outside, the snow actually muffles it. I don't know why. I guess it absorbs the sound. I always thought that was pretty interesting. But middle of the road loads for all your 30 caliber rounds. Bullets for 308, 30-06, and 300 Win Mag. You pretty much have an unlimited selection. 30-30, you pretty much have your choice of 150 grain round nose, 170 grain round nose, or 160 grain Hornady FTX. I have seen some 125 grain hollow points. They have a very high velocity. I have reloaded some of them, but I've never actually shot them at deer. They did fly a little erratic. The heavier bullets, even on my 308, I shoot 180s, and they seem to be more accurate. So here's my ammo holder for my 30-30 Midway USA. Here's my ammo holder. Get a little closer. Okay, so there's my ammo holder for my 30-30. These work really well. These are about $6 from Midway USA. What they do is there's a slot in here, and they just snap in. This one's a little tight because it's still brand new. Keeps your ammo dry, and it's still a little chilly in here. Keeps the tips from getting damaged. If the tip gets a little nick in it, I wouldn't shoot it because you're going to lose a lot of your accuracy. So that's my 30-30. If you're new to deer hunting, you have a young hunter in the family, this is the way to go. Marlin 30-30s are built like a tank. There's a lot of them around. Sometimes you can find them. There's a bug in here. Even as cold as it is in here, it's warming up a little bit. It was 40. So these are built like a tank. You can put a lot of rounds through this. It'll take a lot of abuse. As long as you keep it clean and oiled and rust free, this would be my choice over a 5.56, which is basically a 2.23. And like I said, if you hand load, you can shoot 125 grain bullets or 150. You can adjust the load so you don't have a lot of recoil if you have a recoil sensitive shooter. But even 170, the recoil on this isn't bad. You don't get a lot of muzzle blast. It's extremely accurate. It's very lethal on deer out to 150 yards. So shoot your rifle, practice up. Rifle deer season's coming next Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it. We used to see a pumpkin patch in the woods, but our deer population is slowly whittling away. You have a lot of extended seasons this year, so I think next year a lot of deer numbers will be down. The harvest will probably be high this year because you have, an extra Sunday. Last year rifle season, the area we were hunting in 4C was very quiet. It usually doesn't sound like that. Usually the deer are running all over. So some areas there's a lot of deer, some areas there's none. And I'll have another video of my thoughts about wildlife management units, and I have some input on that, and some thoughts on that. There's always different opinions on that. Antlerless tags, antlerless restrictions, that'll be another video, probably at the end of the season. I've hunted from the day one, every Saturday, every weekend. I have a lot of hours in the woods. It's starting to wear me down. So this week I'm going to rest up. But this gun's been around the barn a few times. There's a lot of nicks in this, being hauled up and down in the tree stands. There's nicks in here. There's nicks in the stock. There's scratches on here. I have a little bit of every kind of damage you could think of on this gun. My dad put this through the ringer. Thanks for watching PA Timber Goose. We'll see you out there next Saturday. Hopefully you'll have some deer hanging on your meat pole. You'll have some burnt shell casings and some more memories hunting with your family and friends. As always, hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching PA Timber Goose. We'll see you in our next video.